What's up, y'all? So, I got an idea for this video, and I just got it, so I'm gonna have to excuse me, I just ate some soup. I'm gonna have to freestyle it, and hopefully it turns out coherent because I have been watching TikTok, which I shouldn't be doing because it just is a time suck, if anything. I mean, my feed is pretty much, they know what they're doing down there, so my feed is, what I want it to be. But this random thing popped into my feed about it was some atheist person or some, I don't know, agnostic person. I think they were technically an atheist, but she believed in she differed from the other atheists in that she saw beneficial elements to the things that are used in religion. And I thought it was going to be a Christian person the way she was going on, and then she was basically replying to something about um, how the way that Christians feel at church, when they're at church worshiping, is the same feeling that you feel when you're at a concert with a bunch of people, which is not true at all. But you can't know that. You can't tell. You can't describe to someone who doesn't have the Spirit of God what it's like. Um, and I even saw a comment that was something like, yeah, when I was in church, my mom told me that was the Holy Spirit, but I felt the same thing at a Harry Styles concert. It's like, okay, well, you didn't feel the Holy Spirit to begin with, sis. Like, and it really got me in my feelings, and I'm just gonna have to repent for it later because um I'm just gonna have to repent for it later because I have not reached the maturity to just be it just gives me a seething rage inside, or not it's not rage. I just want to roll my eyes until they dislocate and disconnect. I'm just so tired. I'm so just disgusted by it's not even non-believers. It's by blind people who just have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know what they don't know. But they think that they do. And they're talking it's like I just get this I have to tamper down my weird fantasy of wanting to get right in the freaking front row seat when they see God coming on the clouds, like or they die and just be in heaven or wherever. And realize they were all the way off, and all of those people that they made fun of for their whatever were right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the right attitude, but that's just how I feel. I don't know, it's probably a pride issue or something that I have. But I'm just it's just so annoying to listen to them yap, 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 yammer, yammer. They're not right. They're currently not right. It's not even well, we'll see. It's I know currently that you are absolutely way off track. You're not correct at all. Like I don't know. It's just really annoying. But so yeah, her argument was, well, instead of just downplaying or getting rid of all of the benefits of religion, let's embrace some of them. And she was just explaining how she reads holy books and she does meditation and she does whatever, without God. She still does those things because she sees the benefits. It's okay, that's you literally explaining how you want God's stuff and not God. That, because everything is about serving their lives on earth, which is just the realest thing to them, which is this the most, it's so bizarre to me. It's so bizarre to me that people think that this experience is the thing that should serve. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It doesn't even last long enough. And you've seen people are dropping like flies every single day. How can you still be so attached? I just how could you not be panicked about the rest of it. Like, anyways, um, and then like I saw another, like somebody put up like a bunch of quotes that they say changed their life or whatever, and I guess one of the quotes was like, um, it was like left in a cave like after World War II or something, and it said something like, after this, God is going to have to beg my forgiveness after this, and I'm just like, no, he's not. He's not. And he probably knows that now, but he's gone and he can't tell everybody like, my bad, everything that I literally don't even remember being on earth anymore because it's like so completely blissful on the other side of this. I literally don't care. Like, he can't tell anyone that. It's a closed system for us. Like, this is just until our test is complete, we're not getting any, like, whatever. We're not getting all of the information. So it just was so dumb, or it just was annoying to me. It was like, even that is serving the experience here and like shaping the way that we think about this reality. It's like so annoying. But the reason why I picked this thing up is then, like, I just saw this random thing about dandelions, which pops up a lot on my TikTok for some reason. I guess, like, every once in a while there's like a craze that comes out. It's some superfood or super whatever, and it was garlic one time, it was avocados, it was this, it was eggs, it was whatever, and now it's like dandelions. Dandelions cures your heart disease and your whatever and your blindness and your whatever. It's like you grind them up into a thing and then you make a tea and then you don't have diabetes anymore. Whatever. Sunflower, not sunflowers, dandelions or whatever. But the video, like it had like somebody was like talking over it, like voiceover. It had a voiceover of a guy talking about you know the conspiracy about Roundup and how they came up with this stuff to kill your weeds when but it's also not a coincidence that the people that own Roundup also own the company that makes the heart medicine that you now have to take because you don't have any dandelions to just naturally uh, do what it does or whatever. And it was just this whole thing. And I was like, you know what? And I know I'm listening to random people all day and I'm just lumping them all into one group of people of humanity. But it's just like, okay, in one breath, y'all want to be like, y'all see what they're doing. You see that Roundup is taking like all of the leftover chemicals and they don't know where to dump it and they don't know where to throw it away. So they're just giving it to you and letting you say, oh, kill your weeds because, they're just programming you randomly to hate weeds for literally no reason. And then you kill, and then it just so happens to be the weed that will help you, you know, make your heart valve strong or whatever. And then it links up with the medicine that is 10 times more terrible, but now you have to pay for something that while they make billions of dollars over something you can get in your yard that grows that they're telling you to kill with ads and commercials. And it's like, okay, you see all that. But then on the other hand, you want to tell me that men are basically good and this world is, it's like, that's why y'all had depression and why y'all don't believe in God and why y'all think it's like y'all won't accept any information when we try to tell you how evil the world is, how evil mankind is in his heart and his soul. And you go, no, that's what? No, that's just terrible. That's just a terrible way. Then you get in a church, you get someplace else, you look at these horrible, you find out these horrible things, and then you go, oh, where's God? Where's God? It's like, bro, we just told you how bad it was. You don't believe that. Every inclination of man's heart is evil. No one does good. No one is worthy. No, like that is part of the basis of the information. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know where we're going with it, so you're just rejecting it because it sounds terrible. It's like if I believe that, it's going to make me feel a way about human beings. It's like just listen to the rest of it though. Like, but you gotta understand that first for any of this to make sense. The whole like you how can you sit and listen to stuff about like this whole roundup situation with dandelions. Oh, that's just certain people out in the world. That's not everybody. That's, just rich, greedy types of people. Okay. Well, what about the guy that died in World War II and whoever and suffered so bad that he was unable to forgive God at the end of it? Oh, well, that was, yeah, that has nothing to do with me though. Okay, well, what about the lying, cheating cheaters who cheat and all of it's like, look around you. Well, they just need to get in a better relationship. They need to dust that person off. They need to set boundaries. It's like, you're not paying attention. Look in every single direction. There's some illness. You want to go where all the nice people are, where all the good people are. That's where you're trying to strive to get to. Like, I've still been thinking a lot about that thing that I watched. That video that I made about the episode of the bear. It's like, it's everywhere. It's just the discontent. Like, you think that it's because you're not doing something in life. You can't get you're a full blown adult and there's no joy. And it's like, oh well, I work too many hours. Well, I'm not doing anything that, it's capitalism. It's like, no, sis, it's none of those things. Like, oh, they're living their best life. Look at these people. You're looking at other things, other people doing stuff, and that's not a good litmus test. Even if it was, the majority of us. I was listening to reading. Couldn't think of how I was consuming the information. I was actually reading this morning. I read Ecclesiastes, and I really just feel like everything I'm trying to say with these videos is like in Ecclesiastes. I'm like, listen, just read Ecclesiastes. Like, you don't have to listen to this. Like, but it says over and over just like how everything is meaningless, which can kind of trip you up if you don't understand, like, if you're a Christian and you're opening the Bible. I personally recommend anybody of this generation start with Ecclesiastes, because it's like he's already right there with you. Like, he already understands. But like, it can kind of be like, why is this so whatever? But what he's saying is like, there's a lot of things in life that um, are not going to, for in a long term sense, they're not going to give you the fuel that you need to get through the life, because everyone needs fuel to get through life, because it's hard. Even when it's easy, it's hard. Um, because this world is suffering. Everything is diseased and decaying, which is another thing that I don't like. I don't understand. Like, okay, you don't believe in God. Okay, fine. But like, when you get in that hypothetical whatever, where we're going, okay, if God exists, then why? Like, if we're going to entertain the idea, you have to also entertain heaven, and heaven is at least the most blissful place in the universe. I don't understand why people are not processing, why people think that there's not a place that exists beyond reality where you could be blissful beyond comparison, to the point where none of this crap that you're complaining about could matter. Like, I don't understand why people don't think that. Like, there are things on this planet that can make you forget how bad your life is. How do you not think that God can just, you can instantly be like, wake up like like you were in a dream? I've had bad dreams. I've had real bad dreams. But you know what? When you wake up, that dream just goes poof, it's gone. I don't understand why people don't add that into their equation of God existing, because that is absolutely positively part of the thing. And it pretty much, like, that in and of itself, like, usurps any sort of bone you have to pick, like, because that's all you want anyway. You're complaining about how uncomfortable you are. You're complaining that somebody broke your heart. You're complaining that your parents didn't love you. You're complaining. You have a complaint. You want to go to the complaint department and complain, right? How do you not inside your mind think that? And then the other thing is like everything you're trying to get is like everything that God is literally made of. Why are you beefing with him? Like, it's just weird how people like I just don't get it. And then you like, let's say that okay, God doesn't exist at all anyway, so none of that matters. Okay, well then what does any of this matter? Like, who cares? Like you living your best life. What about the other 6 billion who just can't do it? Are they just missed the boat? They're just wrong? Like, no. How about everyone is going to return to God? Like, and you're either like, and God understands if you're mad at him. That's another part of the reason why people get rewards in heaven, which I've also talked about before. But it's just like, stop acting like that doesn't make sense. Like, you're not gonna have. Some people, no, some people get up there. I've heard near death experiences, like literal firsthand accounts of people getting up there, and they ask questions and they get answers immediately because you're. This is a test. But like once you're like dead, you can ask whatever you want, and they're like, oh, they just say oh because they're not. They it's like people who just think that this is going to be how it is at forever, and that the best high you can get is at a freaking Harry Styles concert. Like, and that the Christians are just like the way that people really just think that religious people are dumb. Like, we just don't like because they don't understand why you're not doing what they're doing. They're like, well, why would anybody do anything other than what I'm doing? Like, they don't it's all invisible. All of the eternal things are invisible. So they're looking around at people acting a certain way. They're trying to figure it out. They're like, well, maybe it's conditioning, maybe it's this, and you find a couple of cases where, that is the case. You find the girl that's like, oh, I thought it was the Holy Spirit. Turns out it's Harry Styles. Like, okay, but that you can't take that and then whatever. People are going to do what they do. You can only go by what you experience. But it's sad. It's sad because so many people are just going to be left out. They're going to be left out. And it's just like they're going to have chosen it. They're going to have chosen it because they when push comes to shove, they ultimately just did not fundamentally like being created and having a creator. They just didn't like it. They didn't agree with it, and they're not a fan, and they want to. And the other thing I was thinking about too is like, you know what? This whole like mini roads and stuff, that's gonna narrow down as soon as God closes the door on the time of grace. Like, you're gonna see all of your many options dwindle down to just serve the beast or you're gonna die. Like, that's really, really, really messed up, dude. Just thinking about that. So you got all of these different options now, and the devil's got everybody thinking that the world out there is open and free, and you've got all of these options, and you can do what you want. And the religious people are just it's control and this, and it's narrow. And then it's like, as soon as God says, okay, well, like, he as soon as it gets to the time of wrath, all of your options, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure in hell that they still have many, many options, but they're all in fire, and it's all terrible. Like, it all feels, I wouldn't say it's all equally terrible. I think there is like some gradations from based on what people have said. But it's just like it's really a mercy that you're going to be able to experience that on earth and realize like, oh, the devil, like that was like the devil lied. Like when people are going around and the demons are just openly out, demons are just going to be out here possessing people, and it's going to be, listen, the things that people are seeing, the things that God is telling people, you're not even going to believe the world that's about to exist. And it's good that people will get to see that, because all of this nonsense that y'all are just spitting out on your TikToks, because you got so much time and you got your freaking phones. It's like, well, and even then, not everybody. People are going to be, I have a super bone to pick with God now. Now there's demons coming out of the ground. It's like, okay, he still doesn't get it. He still don't get it. Like, there's just some people that they're going to see literal hell and still just be annoyed. And I zero. I give this a zero. Like, you really think you're just going to leave your bad Amazon review and it's just going to affect, like, everyone has it bad in some way. Everyone's got it bad. Even if you have it good, you have it bad. You're making beautiful things and no one's making beautiful things for you. You're working hard to support your family and that's it. You don't get, you're not having fun times. You're not going to get to be no, it's not going to happen. You're going to work till you die. Well, there's got to be no, there's not a different way to do this. Guess what? That's a curse that was added really early on about having to work the ground until you return to the ground, to the dust. So, people trying to get around that curse, it's like, well, good luck with that. And so much of like what is being done on the earth is about trying to get around what God has said is it's going to be, and using technology and all of these ways to sort of get around his pronouncements. God said in 120 years, for man, I'm not going to strive with man forever. Y'all trying to figure out how to live two, 3 times that. It's like, I didn't say what I was about to say about Ecclesiastes, but there was a verse where it said, there's a couple of verses actually, where he says, the best thing for man is to, work and, enjoy the work that he's doing, and, to be able to enjoy things, like enjoy your labor, having, like he mentioned, the worker, uh, the worker goes home and his sleep is sweet, and the rich man is kept up at night and stressed out about his wealth. It's all of these little things about like what it's like he's carrying things out to their end and being like, okay, well, this is pointless. Like, you worked, you did all of this labor, you don't have any family, it's like, what are you doing? Like, the whole book is like him just looking at all like life and just being like, okay, really the best thing that you have to do is to enjoy your work, love the wife of your youth or whatever. It's like, enjoy your work because this is your lot in life. So if you can enjoy your lot in life, that's like a blessing from God. And that's really what it's about. It's about enjoying your lot in life, because this is not the place where you're supposed to get all your stuff. We would all have to climb over each other like horrible people if we all were trying to get everything that we're supposed to get here. Somebody is going to have to boost another person up and forego their chance. Somebody is going to have to get taken advantage of or not get the part. We can't all be princesses and ballet dancers, which is a quote from Mad Men. Not really a quote, but um, so I don't know. I just saw that the it's not circular, but it's just the reasoning. It's like you won't accept this truth about men. So because you won't accept that truth, then something happens and then you are mad, like beyond, you're just incensed. And then you want to blame God. And it's like, okay, well, men are, this world is terrible because of men, not just because of those men over there, but everyone's garbage accumulating. Everyone, I always say, like, thank God for the garbage men. Like, I just think, like, if the garbage men just decided to not pick up our garbage, like, we're donezo. I just, people talking the big talk. It's like our garbage man comes through every Friday, and that thing is outside. Like, I have full and total respect. Like, that's what we're really dealing with here. Like, forget all of your aspirations and all of your whatever. Our lives are dependent on the garbage men coming and picking our garbage up. Like, just really keep it real. And you can say all day, oh well, I'm a clean person. I'm a clean person. I'm a clean person. I'm a clean person. It's like, bro, we all have garbage. And guess what? Our collective garbage has to go to some landfill, some place far away where none of us smell it. Because that's where does it go? Where does it go? We have garbage. Things break down, things die, things decompose, things have to be discarded. This is an imperfect place. Like, don't take that for granted. This is not heaven. Heaven is way better than, well, no, heaven's not real. Heaven's not real. Okay, bro. Like, what? It's ridiculous to put all of your hopes in this place. It's the only thing valuable here is us. That's the only thing valuable here. It's the only reason why we're doing this thing is because of us. So, like, and you might think that people who don't have religion will agree with that, but it's only to a degree. They're just as they're worse because they're just as bad as all of us, but they're not even aware. They're not even aware, and they just think like, oh well, all of this religion stuff, it makes people crazy. It's like, no, people are crazy. You're crazy in a different way. Like, you're just crazy in a different way. And you know what? When you decide when you turn your back on God and you decide you're not going to believe in God or whatever, your life's not going to you're not going to get that much, you're probably not going to get very much opposition. You might actually get, your life might actually improve because it's like, well, we don't need to bother him. He's already on our team. He's already on our team. Let's not, you know, although he does mess up quite a bit and he pushes someone over the edge that already is like, bro, why would you scare somebody who was already on your team into going to our team? But yeah, there's and I understand that people don't want to be. There's things about religion that are weird. There's things about uh, Christianity and things about God that are just the way that they're presented is just wrong or incorrect. You know what I mean? Like I was telling my mom today, I was like, going to church is like the church, the modern church. The modern church is like a base model car. Like, it's just hard for me to go to church because, um, certain churches or just church in general, it's just like, okay, it's like a base model car. And if you've never seen a car in your life, it's great. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this, it's amazing. You never had a car, it's brand new, it's fresh, it's like, oh my gosh, I can get from A to B. Like, this is amazing. It's incredible. But after a while, it's like, okay, do we need the rolling window? Like, why am I rolling my window up? Like, there's power windows. It's like, oh, power windows are the devil. Oh, leather seats are of the devil. Heated seats, no, that's demonic. It's like, what? Like, they just can't do customizations. Like they just get really weird about that. They don't. It's like you can't take that to a modern church anymore, because everything is about church growth and you know it's running a business, and so you can't. It's like, well, what are the demographics? Are they gonna? It's like trying to show certain movies in China or something. It's like, well, we can't do that because these people will do. So everything is like, you can't get any like revelation. You can't get any like, even if God has a word that's like, or something that's just for you, it's like, well, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Like, it has to be something that we all understand collectively. It's like, okay, do you not recognize like what God sounds like or is like without it having to be like, I know if I see a sunroof in a car, like, that's not demonic. That's clearly like something cool. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so I get it, but at the same time, like, where is your desire? Like, the reason why any of us go to church is, or even you might even say endure church, is because you love God, you know God, you want to be where the people of God are, because as bad or as annoying or as whatever, fill in the blank, the people of God can be, like, God works through them, He speaks through them, He speaks to you through them. Um, and it's just, it's not about paying to go to a concert and get an experience from a human on a stage that's giving you an experience. Like, and that's lovely too. Like, okay, good, great concert. But honestly, I'm older anyway. I'm not trying to like go, I'm like, the parking lot is already a no for me. But, it's always a little bit uncomfortable at those things because it's just like, not about God. Like, I would love to go be able to do that about God, but even that's kind of sketchy, even when it's a Christian concert, because it just somehow becomes about the people on the stage. It's just hard to do that type of stuff perfectly, because we're in an imperfect place. But anyway, so I just really get annoyed with people, and it's just like annoying. So whatever, I'm done talking or ranting or whatever I was doing. Good night.